Hi friends, welcome to my channel Plants and Birds. Friends, in last video of floriculture series we have discussed about the classification of vegetable crops part 1. In this video we are going to discuss about the classification of vegetable crops, that is in part 2. That is based on classification based on respiratory activity, classification based on root depth, classification based on life cycle, classification based on photoperiod, classification based on pollination. Firstly, classification based on respiratory activity. See how this is helpful. First, we will see if respiratory activity of the vegetable is high means then the shelf life will be low. That means inversely relation will be present between respiration and shelf life. So that if see how they are classified, very low, okay, very low respiratory activity are present in potato and onion, can be stored for more days, okay, can be stored for more time, okay, very large more shelf life will be there. Okay, next low, okay, sweet potato, cabbage, cucumber can be stored for somewhat, okay, 10 days, like that, 10 to 15 days, okay, 10 to 15 days we can store that. What? Sweet potato, cabbage, cucumber. More than 20 days potato, onion can be stored. Okay, onion usually more than two, some places more than 6 months also can be stored. Okay, potato more than 2 months can be stored in the proper okay, environmental conditions. Okay, low, next year. Okay, low means sweet potato, cabbage, cucumber, which can store for more than 10 to 15 days. Next, moderate. Okay, moderate means they can store up to moderate shelf life. Okay, that is tomato, chili, capsicum, carrot, beet. This can be stored up to 1 week or 10 days. Okay, so because of its moderate respiratory activity, high respiratory activity, then this can storage life is very less. In 1 or 2 days they will start, okay, they will start wilting. Means loss of turgor will be we can see that in beans, peas, radish. Very high means very high in case of leafy vegetables, green leafy vegetables, okra, watermelon, muskmelon, cauliflower. Is respiratory activity is very high, then shelf life is very less. They cannot be stored for more than 2 to 3 days also. Okay, green leafy vegetables in only 1 day they'll shelf life. Other day, next day they will be, yeah, lost their turgor and become okay, wilty like appearance, so that market value will fall. If we provide refrigeration conditions, we can store to 2 or 3 days lastly. Okay, this is about the classification of based on respiratory activity. Next, classification based on root depth. Okay, this will be go this helps us to know in what soil we can sow this seed, and what are in which place we want to sow these seeds, what is the structure texture, we can according to them we can sow them. Okay, shallow rooted means 40 to 40 centimeter, 30 to 40 centimeters only root will go. Okay, in that we can grow in a buds. Okay, buds we can make the buds with adding organic matter, like that you can grow. That is onion, cabbage, garlic, cauliflower, spinach, radish, potato. All these are only shallow rooted. All these are only shallow rooted. That means only 30 to 40 centimeter root will go. And next, moderately deep. That means for 50 to 70 centimeter root will go inside. Okay, that is brinjal, cucumber, muskmelon, squash, summer squash, carrot, beetroot, pea. Okay, they are grown in 40, 50 to 70 centimeter deep. Brinjal, cucumber, muskmelon, summer squash, carrot, beetroot, pea. But onion, garlic, cabbage, cauliflower, spinach, their roots are in upper surface only. That is 30 to 40 centimeters. Deep, 80 to 100 centimeters depth roots will be go. Even which cluster bean, watermelon. See, muskmelon is moderately deep, but watermelon will go inside. Watermelon, pumpkin, tomato. Tomato is also a deep rooted vegetable. Cluster bean also a deep rooted vegetable. These are two important tropical vegetables to be remembered in this group. Okay, brinjal is a moderately deep. Okay, and chili also come under the moderately deep. Okay, next sweet potato is a deep vegetable. Roots will go deeper. Okay, cowpea, french bean are come under the deep. Okay, this is about the classification based on root depth. It is classification based on life cycle. Okay, this helps to in which season what vegetables can be grown. Okay, we will know in which season what vegetables must be grown and what is the lifespan of that vegetables we can know. Okay, annuals, biannuals, perennials. Okay, mainly for the life cycle. What is the lifespan of that vegetable? Okay, we will know by this classification. Annuals complete their life cycle in one season. That means in 5 to 6 months it will complete. No, 3 to 5 months it will complete it life. Okay, this what life cycle by up to seed production. Okay, that is tomato, brinjal, chili, capsicum, okra, watermelon, muskmelon, broad bean, lima bean, garden bean, all come under the annuals. That means which they complete their life cycle in one season. That means in rainy season itself they will complete, or in winter season itself they will complete their. Okay, biannuals complete their life cycle in 2 seasons. That means 2 seasons they require. If you sow in rainy, they will complete their life cycle in rainy and winter season. Both seasons they will take. They are onion, carrot. Because in this biennials, one season is for vegetative growth, second season for reproductive growth. Okay, onion, carrot, garlic, okay, sweet potato, spinach, all cold crops. Okay, to be remembered, this classification is based on seed production. Okay, up to seed. Okay, if you harvesting can be done in middle of that also. Okay, seed production up to seed. Onion seed production means you don't get onion, only seeds will be kept. So that we must harvest below that period only. Okay, so that don't confuse here. Okay, biannuals means they complete their life cycle in 2 seasons. That means they will die after the 2 seasons. Okay, before that only we must harvest that. Okay, this is about the biannuals. Carrot, onion, garlic, sweet potatoes, spinach, all coli vegetables, all come under the biannuals. Next, perennials. This require more than 2 seasons to complete their life cycle. Okay, here one thing means more than 2 seasons. Okay, that means more than 2 seasons means this cannot be died. Okay, they will again rejuvenate if they cut it also they can rejuvenate. Okay, example drumstick, curry leaf, little gourd, elephant foot yam, cassava, colicaceae, asparagus. They have full yearly they will give production. Full year they will live. Okay, require more than 2 seasons to complete their life cycle. Okay, drumstick, okay, curry leaf, little gourd, okay, elephant foot yam, cassava, colicaceae, asparagus come under the perennials. Okay, see drumstick if you cut once it will come again and give again production, and curry leaf also same. Okay, little gourd also same. If you cut it again it will come and in rainy season and it will give production. Elephant foot yam also if you take it and if a small bud is present in soil it will germinate in rainy season. Okay, this is about the perennials. Next, based on photo period, this as I already discussed in the last classes. Okay, photo period means what is the light required. Okay, what is the light period required to enter plants to enter into the reproductive phase, that is flowering or seed production or fruit production. Okay, this classification based on photo period. Now we will discuss first one. Short day plants requires a day shorter than a critical day length for flowering, that is less than 12 hours they require. Okay, for flowering, see that is brinjal, sweet potato come under the short day plants. This must be important to be remembered. Brinjal is very important. It is a short day plant. Next, long day plants require a day length longer than a critical day length for flowering. That means more than 12 hours they require day length. Then only they will flower. There are spinach, radish, cabbage, cauliflower, carrot, potato. These are the long day plants. One thing to remember here: spinach. If it is a long day plant, means if you give long day, there is no use of that. Only for seed production only we must give long day. Okay, long day to the spinach. Otherwise, for okay vegetative production we need from that spinach. Okay, we will harvest that leaves. Okay, for that it must be kept in short day. Okay, short day condition. Okay, but it belongs to long day plants because it requires long day for its seed production, flowering and seed production. Okay, and next, day neutral. This flowering is not influenced by day length, whatever it will be. Short days there, long days there, they will not think about it. They will flower in that when they enter into the reproductive phase. Okay, that is tomato, okra, capsicum, cucumber, asparagus. Tomato, okra, both are important to be remembered here, and cucumber also. Okay, once again I will tell you examples. Short day plants, brinjal is the main important to be remembered under tropical vegetable. And long day plants, spinach, carrot, spinach, carrot to be remembered mainly, radish. Okay, and next, in day neutral plants you must remember tomato, okra, cucumber mainly, day neutral plants. Next, lastly, based on pollination. Okay, this is help to know what is the seed purity. Okay, and what is when you how to do breedings you will know. Okay, what are the precautions to be taken during the seed production? We will know that by see self-pollinated. These are self-pollinated means the pollen from the same flower will enter into that. Okay, female reproductive structure and leads to fruit production. That means there is no, okay, there is no pure line production can be done through this self-pollinated crops. That is tomato, garden pea, cowpea, board bean, tomato. This self-pollinated crop is tomato. We must remember this very very important, because tomato, when we add 1 acre of tomato land, beside of that whatever they will grow, it will not matter to it tomato. Okay, it will give only that variety only. That is a self-pollinated. Next, cross-pollinated. See, amaranthus, palak, spinach, radish, all cucurbits, all cauliflowers, and carrot, onion, all are cross-pollinated. This is very very dangerous thing. Okay, if you think you will take that onion, you have purchased a onion seeds. Okay, that is very large onions. Okay, very good quality onions seeds, and you added in a field, and beside that field someone has did a not good variety. He put it some onion beside that field only. Then it is cross pollinated, and what the seeds produced by your onion, it will not be pure. They are cross pollinated, so that there will not, if you plant that seeds, the seeds will not produce what the quality onions produced in that season. They will be changed. If its quality is reduced. This is the main disadvantage of cross pollination. Okay, they require isolation distance, but that means between two varieties, what is the distance required to maintain genetic purity? That is the cross isolation distance. Okay, they require isolation distance for their seed production. Cross pollinated crops, often cross pollinated crops means cross pollination is 5 to 30% will occur. That is in brinjal, okra, chilies, lima bean. Okay, see, often cross pollinated, 5 to 30% of cross pollination occur. That means if you collected 100 seeds, in that 5 to 30 seeds will be cross pollinated seeds. That means 5 to 30 seeds are not pure seeds. They will be cross pollinated. They do not contain the character of your crop. They will be changed in that 5 to 30 seeds. Often cross-pollinated, so that isolation distance must also be maintained during seed production in brinjal, okra, chilies also, and lima bean. Okay, see, brinjal, okra, chilies are often cross-pollinated. 5 to 30% of cross-pollination occur in that. and the self pollinator is tomato. You must remember this, which is very very important for seed production. Okay, this is about the classification, friends. Okay friends, thank you. In next class we discuss about the crops. We will enter into the crop physiology. We will learn each crop, each vegetable crop in detail. Okay, thank you friends, bye.